So, how do you feel about the 9/11 situation?
Which part of 9/11?
How it all transpired. Why do you think it happened?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, the Pentagon has never passed an audit, right? Ever. And the day before, they were like, hey, fellas, there's a lot of money missing. Now, some fellas sitting in that big castle, Pentagon, they know that this hearing's coming up. They're like, yeah, what do we do with all that money? We don't know. It's top secret.
Yeah.
So they just so happen to have training simulations going on that day with fighter jets.
Yep.
Okay. Just so happened. It just, by God, that's how the schedule fell. Right?
Right.
And then some dudes allegedly hijacked some airplanes, and we know what happened, right?
Right.
And then later, the British lady somehow time traveled in front of the Building 7 collapsing before it collapsed.
Right.
You remember that? And what did Building 7 have in it?
What do you think? Or do you know?
Did that matter? Did that light just...
That's fine.
The TV cut off.
Hating ass TV.
Hating ass TV.
Hating ass motherfucking TV.
Did it mess up everything?
Mm-mm.
Can you even tell?
Not really.
Okay. But Building 7, you know.
Mine's is still.
And I'm stupid. I don't know nothing. I didn't sit up here to research. I'm just remembering things. And I might be remembering everything incorrectly. But Building 7 had a bunch of important documents, they say. Why'd that building fall? It didn't sustain no damage. That was a controlled demolition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it happened. Who's responsible for 9/11? Was it George Bush?
Has America recovered from 9/11?
No. No, 9/11 was just a prequel to things to come. Look around you. What do you think? The Patriot Act? And then you had Snowden?
I think that's your boy. You like Snowden, don't you?
I'm indifferent to Snowden.
What? Snowden said, fuck it. I'm telling everybody everything.
Yeah.
Where is he now? What do you think he's doing right now?
I think he's in America somewhere.
Oh, I don't know.
He was in Russia for many years. But you know who Snowden, you know who had it worse than Snowden?
Who's that?
Assange.
Yeah.
They were trying to kill him.
They were going to try to kill Snowden too, but he left. He said, fuck this shit.
Bunch of Tom Clancy shit going on.
He recorded that video. Everything was he was in Russia when he did that video.
Yeah.
Because if he was still in America, he couldn't have got out of the country. He had to get out of the country first.
The West versus Russia thing. I mean, come on. You mean to tell me the Cold War mattered? That's a lie. See,
why was it a lie?
I'm gonna tell you why. Let's say you have a bunch of kids on a playground. A bunch of kids. Think about the South Park kids, right? Playground. You got two bullies. Not bullies, just more capable children of committing violence. Right?
Bullies.
Not bullies, just capable. You know. And you gotta keep them in order. So if they think the two big dogs on the block are going to start swinging on each other, they don't want to do collateral damage to that.
Right.
So they fall in line. And you got a chaotic world out there. And if you have two opposing ideologies, which is stupid.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's money.
It's money.
Money.
Money is everything.
It is everything.
That's what America built on, money.
It's all about money. That's why I'm giving this interview money.
You can't not believe in it.
Right. You can't not believe in money.
Some people said the dollar the value has dropped on the dollar.
What is value?
Value is whatever you can sell yourself for.
See, value. Oh, come on in. Value is just a perception.
You're worth what people will pay for you.
Could be.
You're worth what you negotiate.
Yeah.
So, Chad Johnson, how do you feel about the past election?
I love it. I love it. I love every minute of it.
Do you feel the shit that Trump is doing is going to be for the best or for the worst for America?
I don't know. I don't know nothing, Randy.
Give me a real answer.
I think the status quo has been pretty terrible. Could you agree with that?
Yeah.
So why not throw a wrench into the blender, see what happens?
It'll break the blender.
That's fine. Sometimes things need to be broken to be real, built back correctly.
What do you feel about online right now? The state of
It
online.
disgusts me.
Why?
It just.
You're online right now.
I am.
You've been a hypocrite.
I am a hypocrite. I'm also.
What do you want to say all the other hypocrites out there? The other 2 billion hypocrites that are online doing eat videos and fucking twerking.
When you sit back and look at the grand scheme of things, it's stupid. We are doing nothing to further the human race correctly. Huh?
You're right. People making millions of dollars online just eating in their car. How does that make you feel?
It makes me want to not eat. You ever look at one of those my 600-pound life clips? I'm like, my God. And then I'll skip lunch. I'm like, God, I am that gross son of a bitch. Look at me. And then, but I'm not. It just depends on the camera angle and how you catch me. I mean, I ain't no muscular dude walking around and flexing.
Yeah.
I ain't that.
So where did Chad Johnson come from? He has no history. Nobody went to school with him.
No.
Nobody knows who this guy is, but he pops up online.
Yeah, he's made up.
Drinking an Arizona tea.
Chad Johnson exists to catch all the uploads off of Instagram and to automatically post them. I don't even check the comments. But once a week, they're like, "Oh man, somebody's trying to talk to me."
What do you feel about AI?
It's a catch-22. There's a duality to it. It's terrifying.
Black Mirror type shit.
Exactly. So, we've made music for a long time.
Right.
And, we're not famous. We're just a bunch of assholes making music. That's what we are, essentially, right?
Right.
Just a bunch of assholes having a good time.
Right.
From concept to finish, make the beat, write the song, rap it, mix it, master it, put it on the internet.
Right.
What, about a week, 2 weeks?
Or what you said earlier, a few seconds.
AI, 30 seconds. What used to take a week gets us, 3-4 days in
So what do you say to the naysayers about AI?
That's fine. Look, before everything was digital, everything was analog.
Right.
And I'm sure there's some Radio Shack nerd that's like, actually. Okay, I get it. There's some other shit before it, okay? I don't have to get into the...
Right.
You know, like what they were recording with in the late 1800s. Okay, we're going to skip through some of that.
Right.
Analog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had synthesizers come out, and that was analog still, but it was still a computer giving you noise.
Right.
And it was excellent. And then you had things like the drum machine come out. Well, a drummer is like, huh, look out with this fancy machine. I am a man playing these drums. Because there was skill behind it.
Right.
It was actual skills. And it meant something because it was work and practice and dedication.
Right.
Right? But the drum machine come along. I don't need a drummer. So you hooked up the drum machine and made it a little easier. It's a tool.
Yeah.
Technology. And then so those dudes, they had their reel-to-reel tapes, and studios was like real giant, just colossal, you know, the mixing boards with 10,000 channels, you know, and there's like an orchestra in there, and it's like all this, you know, it's like the most rare wood to build a big fancy room.
Right.
And we see that as youngins, and we're like, that's cool. We want to mimic that, right?
Right.
So then a lot of us started out on MTV Music Generator. You remember them days?
Yeah.
You remember that?
PlayStation.
Even worse, some of us didn't have computers, so we would rig the PlayStation up to a karaoke machine and record the beat onto a tape. You remember that?
Yep. AI has wiped out all this shit.
So, but that was us trying to figure out, because our generation came in when technology kept changing.
Right.
So
it changed every 5 years.
Right. And
every 5 years is like 10 years.
So Fruity Loops comes out. Neat. It was a neat little trick at first. It was a cute little thing.
So are you saying this is the death of Fruity Loop AI?
No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying,
it could be,
is we now have a tool, and I'll get to that in a second. Let me get back on this other tangent. The drum machine people were scoffing at, you know, the Fruity Loop kids, you know, that all they saw was a bunch of toddlers playing with what we would see a toddler playing with a tablet. We were just kids playing on a computer, because it wasn't practical when it first started. It was not practical to record on a computer digitally,
right,
without some analog equipment.
Right.
Well, everything went digital. And then FL Studio, and then Pro Tools and Adobe, and some of us started out on Cool Edit. We didn't even have a snapping function.
Mixcraft.
You just had to be good with listening and dropping it on the graph.
Yeah, it wouldn't even put it in.
But so mid 2000s up until about 2015, everybody got used to the stagnated level of technology we were all using, right?
Right.
Cell phones start evolving. I mean, we're recording on a phone and a tablet. It's bonkers. Because 10 years ago, I thought I had to go buy a $2,000 camera.
10 years ago, you did have to.
Yeah. So, but AI is being scoffed at by the Fruity Loop, you know, digital recording era, because they're saying, but you typed in words. Yeah, I told it
right
to interpret my conscious thought.
Yeah.
And when I can prompt it to say, give me the most gross, overly commercial pop shit that you can put together.
Yeah.
talk about George Orwell's 1984. Sell it to me in a form of a pop song.
Yeah.
Took the book apart, put it back in, ribbed it with rhythm. I was about to butcher the way I was going to say it anyway.
So what program are you using to do that? Is Suno?
Suno AI.
This is the greatest thing since the TV.
In my opinion, it's amazing. Now, if you ain't very smart, or you don't put your words together too good, you're going to get some real campy, just like you can tell it's stupid. Okay? You have to tell it. You have to tell it how to put a rap song together.
Yeah.
You got to tell it how to blend the styles. You have to tell it what tone. I put limitations in it.
You sound like the spokesperson for this.
I should be at this point. Because it's a great app and they're not paying me nothing. But if I get famous, I will sponsor you.
What about Chat GPT?
Wow. Yeah.
That's a whole nother animal, huh?
Dude.
We done entered a different dimension now.
It is a different dimension. And there's a lot of...
It's overwhelming if you think about it.
There's a lot of producers and rappers that are not ready for the scary stuff. Are they?
What's the scary stuff? Elaborate.
Because it goes back to the drummer in the drum machine. He has pride in his craft.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna sit there and make a beat for 6 hours with 10,000 MIDIs and all these samples and intricate layouts and drops and cuts and edits, or I tell a robot to do it and it does it, and then we can get the production done a little bit quicker. And if I have to chop it down and drop it back into the beat program and switch it up and do what, fine, I'll do that too. I can. It's why are we wasting time? It's almost like we're in a contest to see who can practice the best.
Right. But there's no practice involved in AI.
No.
That's scary.
Not really. Maybe for a music executive or the people that's been gatekeeping in the whole industry. Yeah, that's scary for them. It's scary for writers who are putting slop on television that nobody cares about, and then they want to go on strike. Yeah. Oh no, they're putting AI and stuff.
Yeah.
We're unionized.
Right.
Okay, good for you, but we're not. No one knows who we are. We're just a bunch of assholes. Unknown assholes. And people know him a little bit better.
I'm unknown. I'm behind the camera. You're in front of the camera.
You're hot shit, son.
You're in front of the camera. I'm behind the camera.
I know. And in due time, he's going to become the content. He doesn't realize it. He's going to be the content.
I'm not the content.
You are.
I'm just a guy behind recording.
You, it turns out.
Plot twist.
No, but you don't want to overdo it to where, like how Marvel kind of botched Ant-Man 3.
They botched it? You think so?
Well, they overdid it with the CGI. I mean, it looked like a Spy Kids movie. Right?
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Movies are becoming incredible due to AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
They ain't got to have a $5 million budget on wrecking vehicles and shit now.
Right. Like, I don't have to go find some female to sing a hook. I just...
You just type her up.
Yeah. Because, I don't need any filthy women coming around. No, I'm kidding. But it uncomplicates the process. Not having to deal with somebody.
Right. That's very interesting.
And I used to record people for money.
Now you don't.
Now I don't. I don't have to.
Some people not gonna like that.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. They were mad at me when I quit years ago.
So, Chad Johnson, what is your ultimate goal coming to online? What do you want to get out of this? What do you want to get out of this whole
I want, first of all, I just want you to care. Right?
What do you want them to care about?
I don't know. The content, so we can make money. Oh, did I say the quiet part out loud? Is that what everybody avoids talking about?
I think before long, everybody gonna be working online.
They will.
Everybody got some type of side hustle online.
That's right. That's the times. What's your online side hustle?
Sell shirts online.
He does. Pitch it. Sell it.
Shit. I can't remember right now due to some activities. But go to Printify, La Familia / Gatos Incorporation. Yeah, if you like cats, you'll like my shirts.
Listen, I'll get the link and post it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there you
I'll
go.
post the
He
link.
made it all different.
He's
He
not-
could just do that.
Quon takes marketing genius.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna just say that.
What are you selling online, Chuck?
Well, I have music.
If you're a new listener, just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb on Iraq. They didn't consider using it. They've used it on our troops. In Vietnam, they sprayed PCP on the troops, Jacob's Ladder. You think PCP, some horse tranquilizer something? They got stuff that'll whack your brain permanently. Brain chips in the troops. They give the troops special vaccines that really nanotech that already re-engineer their brains.
Circuit boards glitch, shadow dental corridors roam, interdimensional frogs croak in your silicone domes. Lizard suits, tailored bloodlines mapped in chrome, carve Atlantis on a microchip, hidden genome. They bump chessboards while pyramid beams spark. Deep state marionette stringing moves in the dark. Black ink contracts sign where boogeymen hark. Antarctica blueprints, reptilian hallmark. Truth encrypted, static airs hum the drones. Guru selling chaos through megaphone tones. Magnetic fields twist, decoded through unknowns. Chase the rabbit deeper, Alex Jones in the zone.
I don't like to put chemicals in the water, sit there in the friggin' frogs game. Do you understand that?
Roswell postcards, cigars like clandestine confessions. Pharma overlords, metal minds through their sessions. Vaccinate the matrix, self-fear and 10 impressions. Turn the frogs to philosophers, digressions on depressions. Bluebird, whisper, MK, thoughts, zap bones. Wormholes open where elite stash clones. Patterns in the chemtrail, graffiti skies tones. Global cabals planting bugs in your phones. Truth encrypted, static airs hum the drones. Guru selling chaos through megaphone tones. Magnetic fields twist, decoded through unknowns. Chase the rabbit deeper, Alex Jones in the zone. Bluebird whisper, MK thoughts zap bones. Wormholes open where elite stash clones. Patterns in the chemtrails, graffiti skies tones. Global cabals planting bugs in your phones. Truth encrypted, static airs hum the drones. Gurus selling chaos through megaphone tones. Magnetic fields twist, decoded through unknowns. Chase the rabbit deeper, Alex Jones in the zone.
this universe. That's what they call dark matter. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things, is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up in the fifth, sixth dimension consciousness.